Okay, hey guys, so this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a little while, but it's just about things that I've experienced and things that I've gone through. And I know in my past, I don't know if it's in my description, but I'll put it in the comments, my Instagram, my TikTok and stuff. And if anyone ever wants to message me about stuff, or if wants to talk about stuff, or needs help, or feels like they need help, I'm the type of person that will respond to them, or text you back. Like, I love talking to people. I know a lot of people go through a lot of different things, and a lot of times, like, it's hard to talk to people that are close to you at times through things like it feels embarrassing, or like you don't want to. I don't know. Sometimes it's like better. I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes it's better to talk to like a stranger, but it's like scary, but also like, I don't know, sometimes you can really find people that are going through similar things. But really I want to make this video about like kind of my testimony, or kind of stuff that I have experienced. So I'm going to start with, because this video is going to be about my religion too, which I grew up Catholic. I need to start going to church more. I don't go to church as much as I should, but I grew up Catholic, and I've been to Christian churches a lot because of my family has been Christian too. But so starting from when I was younger, this was when I was in high school, my grandma had passed, and I was like really upset like when she did pass, but it wasn't something that was like unexpected. We knew she wasn't doing too well, but also it kind of was a little unexpected, I guess. But so she passed, I don't remember exactly what year. I want to say it was 2019 or 2020, but I could be wrong. But I remember like I was in high school. I think it might have been my freshman year, or like, yeah, because it was before she got to send me to my first freshman homecoming, because I do have that picture. I remember that vividly. But so she had passed. I've been close with her my whole life. Grew up doing crafts with her, all this stuff. I have so many pictures. That's where I get like my artsy side from. I feel like everything I do, like all these crafts and stuff that I post on here, or like stuff that's been in my post and like on my TikTok, and like stuff that people know personally that I made, it's been from her. Like, I feel like it's rooted from her. But anyways, so she passed, and I remember, I don't know why, but like I can't really cry in front of people a lot, but I remember at the funeral, like, my cousins they're like 2 years younger than me, but like, no, like a year younger, maybe like 2 years behind me in grade wise. And I have 2 older siblings as well. But so I remember like I didn't cry that much during the funeral. I was very upset, obviously, because I just lost like the woman that I looked up to. Like, she was an amazing grandma. I wouldn't change anything that she gave us for the world, like, ever. I wouldn't change it or give up anything, like give it up at all, ever. She was amazing, and she was an amazing, beautiful woman. But so this was literally the night of the funeral. I had a dream, and so in my dream, like, it was so vivid. It was so like weird to me, because like it didn't feel like a dream, but it did. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if other people have experienced that. But so I literally like went to bed that night, and I had a dream, and I vividly remember this, walking in like to her house, which like they used to live in a different town, but they moved, and it was like 5 minutes from my house, so I would go there all the time. And I remember like walking in, all the picture frames, like everything there, like, and it would have like, so say this is like the wall, there's like a couch, and she's sitting on this couch over here, and like in my dream, like I get to go sit down with her and like have this full-on conversation with her. Like, now I remembered this for the longest time. Like, I don't remember exactly what everything was, but I remember her sitting down talking to me and telling me everything was going to be okay in this dream, and that she had to go. And I remember her telling me like to look out for my cousins and like everyone, and just to be strong for everyone. And like, honestly, that really like stuck with me, because it was like kind of like closure, but also like it was because it was my last like conversation with her, in what I would say, I guess. And like, I don't know like if anyone else has ever experienced this with like someone they lost, because like to me, like, I feel like that was like kind of my connection with God, with her, in a way. But another thing, like, I pay attention to angel numbers a lot because I usually will see those a lot, especially like with cars, like, and like, or I'll be thinking randomly and I'll look at the clock and it's like an angel time and I'm like, something told me to look at the clock and it's like an angel number. Like, I don't know why, but I've always felt like really connected with God. But I grew up, like, my family used to go to church a lot and I had 2 older siblings, so we didn't go to church a lot like later when we grew up, because we all did different sports, multi-sports. But I did do religious education and I had communication, or not communication, communion, sorry guys. But so yeah, so that was like my first thing, I guess. And I've had like similar things like that, or just like things that, like, I don't know, I've always been like really into nature and things like that. And I feel like whenever, like, I feel like I'm gonna go through like a hard time or something, like, I'll like get a thought in my brain to look at like the time that it is, and it'll be like, so I see 3s and 4s and 5s a lot. So 4s, I forgot exactly what it is. I looked it up earlier, but I know 3s, or one of them is like supposed to be like you're on the right path, which like to me is like a big thing, because like everyone makes mistakes and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, like especially with like past relationships that I've had. Like, yeah, I've been in the wrong a lot, and like I am ashamed of that, but also like something I've learned is like I forgive other people really easily, but it's really hard for me to forgive myself when I do stuff. And that's something I've been really trying to work on, especially with God, because God literally, he died for us. Like, and something I always try to tell myself is like, who else would do that for you? Honestly, a lot of people, no one almost. I don't know people that would do that for myself. And like, God, like, God and Jesus, like, they always forgive us for our sins. And I remember like watching this thing, and I was listening to this documentary where like God has already forgiven you for your sins, but we dwell on the fact, and we like continue to sit here and think about what we've done in our past and all this stuff. But it's really just like temptations and stuff. God wants us to learn how to forgive others and also forgive ourselves, in my opinion. But also, so now getting into some more difficult things. So this was somewhat when I was in high school too. So I have epilepsy. I've been diagnosed since like last January. But so my freshman year, I remember like I had like a softball like college camp, exposure camp thing. It was like 3 hours long. Everything was fine like at the camp. And I remember when I got home that night, like I was like, my stomach hurt like pretty bad, and I was like laying on the floor for a while. But I also had like a different practice that night, and there was kind of like a gap in between. But like my mom told my dad that I wasn't feeling good. My dad was my coach, but I was driving with him. On the way there, I made him pull over because I thought I was gonna throw up, but like I spit out the car door or something. And when I got there, like something in my mind was telling me that I had to go around this other way to our sports training building, because I thought we were parked in a different parking lot. But I started walking into this like field, like it's like a grass field, so there's nothing there. It's like dead grass and stuff. Like I was going towards nothing, and my dad started yelling at me like, where are you going? So I turned around with my catcher's bag, and I started walking towards in there. And I get in there, and like I don't remember all this like fully, but like I guess I was like kind of like staring up at like the lights, like the ceiling lights. And it was a combined practice. We would practice with like our 16 and like 18U. We had 2 16U teams, I think, or like 15, 16, 18. Sometimes it would be switched and stuff, but whatever. But I remember one of the other coaches was sitting there, and he was like, said something about like, oh, she doesn't look that good. So my dad took me to the hospital, or started driving, and he called my mom and told her he was taking me to the hospital, because he was asking me some questions and I kind of like wasn't responding that well. But what I remember from that night is or from what I've been told too, like, so I don't remember this, but he carried me into a hospital, and I passed out for like an hour, and he told me I was kind of just like shivering in the waiting room, but they did blood work and everything, and I'm pretty sure I went back that night. And we didn't really think anything of it because everything came back fine. And they said it was like, they called it an episode because they couldn't really classify it as like a seizure, but it probably was something with that. But then a couple years past this, so I was driving with one of my ex-boyfriends, and his friend was in the back seat, and I started to get like really hot out of nowhere and like not feeling good, like not, I couldn't breathe that well, and I was just getting like an anxious feeling, and it felt like I needed to spit, like, you know, like when you are sick or like really nauseous and you just feel like you have to spit. Yeah, so that's what I felt like. And I pulled over because my boyfriend started driving my car instead since I wasn't feeling good, and what he said is like I started making like kind of like weird sounds, and like it looked like I was like foaming out of the mouth and stuff. And so his one friend in the back didn't know what was going on, and he asked his friend, or he asked my boyfriend, he asked if I had autism. And that kind of like, because a lot of like autism or people with autism have like stuff for like sensory needs, you know, like they'll make sounds or like move their hands. So like I get why he was saying that, but also like I don't want to disrespect people that have that. But like that's what he said, like, because I was like making like the sounds, and like I don't condone like making fun of like anything like that. I work with kids, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on and stuff that goes on with that. But anyways, so what I remember is we got to his house, I'm in his room, and he gives me water, so I drink it before, but this is when I had a seizure. So if you give water to someone before they have a seizure, they're likely to have like an ictal phase. I don't know exactly how to say it, but that's where you vomit. So I threw up all over his bed sheets, and his mom, I remember, was there, and she knew what was happening because I don't know if she worked with something before or whatever, but my arms were like up in the air and like full on seizure. And I remember the EMT, when they got there, they were like really rude. I remember my mom telling me, because I don't remember a lot of it since I was unconscious, obviously, but my mom told me that like they kept asking, they were like, oh, it's probably because I threw up over the bed since I had that water. They kept asking if I did drugs or like was drinking and all this stuff, and like they were really aggressive about it, I guess, from what my ex-boyfriend's mom and like my mom were telling me after that. But everything ended up being fine that night, and I don't remember if I went home that super late that like following morning or if I stayed. But then, so I didn't have any more for a really long time, but I couldn't drive for like a little bit. And then this last January, so last year, January, I was driving up towards like north of my town, towards the city, and I was there like the whole day, hanging out with my boyfriend. It's not, I'm not dating anyone right now, if anyone's, whatever, not that anyone cares. But so I was hanging out the whole time with him. We went to go see the movie, Anyone But You. We watched that. We were hanging out at his house that night, and everything was fine, but I was driving to go back that night, and it was like around like 8:30 to 9 o'clock. And what I remember, so when I was driving, like my maps were all messed up, and it said that I was like on the maps that's in my CarPlay, it showed my like blue dot in the trees, and I'm like, I was on the road, so I was like, I'm not in the freaking trees, like what? And I don't know if like I was stressed because of that, and like other stuff could induce seizures, but apparently, so I didn't know how to get to the highway, but apparently I was on the highway. I did get to the highway. I don't really remember that, but I was driving on the highway for 30 minutes, and from my friend's point of view, so we don't have this right now, I think, but I'm really close with her, grew up with her in high school and stuff, but we would have not Find My iPhone, Life 360. So she got a notification saying that I completed a drive at the top speed of 90 or whatever, and like she thought I got pulled over at first. And then like she texted me, because I was supposed to hang out with her that night. I didn't see it obviously until like way later, but then she was like with her current boyfriend and current boyfriend at the time, and she was like, what if she got in an accident, like blah blah. So like I don't remember any of this. So what I remember from everything that happened that night, so I came to, or like was conscious when I was being wheeled into the ambulance, and it was a lady EMT, and she asked me, do you know what's like happening? And I was like, or what happened? And I was like, no, like, and she was like, you had a seizure and hit a semi. And in my mind, I was like, there's no way, like that did not happen. Like I didn't have a single scratch, a single anything on my body. Nothing happened. I totaled this rental car. Nothing happened. From the semi, he said that he saw me lose control of my vehicle. I hit the side of his semi and hit like this guardrail thing, and my car door was like hanging off, or like smashing in and hanging off. But I did vomit from like, I don't know if it was from the impact or from the seizure, but I vomited over myself, and I did urinate. Yeah, so I was in the hospital for way longer that time, but I had a trip to Florida planned that day, and I still went 2 days after with my cousins, my mom, my aunt, my sister, and my one friend went with me. The one that texted me about that too. I love her so much. She's like literally my ride or die. But anyways, so that was when I got diagnosed with epilepsy and when I had to start taking medicine, which I started taking Keppra. And I've been taking that ever since. It's been really helpful. I was really tired when I first started taking it, maybe for like a couple days, but it's really helpful and I really like it a lot. But so yeah, so that happened last year. I couldn't drive for 6 months and I was very upset because it felt very like dehumanizing almost. Not like that, but I was in college and like I almost got like depressed because I couldn't drive to go get food. I couldn't drive to do all this stuff, and like I was having some problems with my roommates, and all my roommates last year, they were super sweet, super nice. One of them I went to high school with. Well, one of them is my current roommate, and the one I'm not roommates with anymore, and I haven't talked to her since like this past like school year. I hung out with her once or twice. I really do miss her a lot though, and I really want to reach out to her, but I haven't talked to her in like 4 months, 5 months, but I think in the summer I might try to text her or reach out to her. But yeah, and I also started working. I really wanted to work last year, but I couldn't work because I couldn't drive, and I didn't really want to get a campus job. It didn't really work that well with my schedule and like my classes and stuff. But then this past year I did clinicals and stuff, and I also have been working at an after school daycare program, which I love, because even like there's days where I have stuff going on and I'm crying, almost crying on my way to work because I'm like upset, but I go in and like the kids honestly make my day so much better because they have so much energy. They're always so happy. I love to be around them. Obviously, like, yeah, we have crazy days, we have students that misbehave, but like at the end of the day, they're kids. And also, like, in my opinion, this generation is so brain rotted. Like, I know even I have brain rot terms that are in my head, but like these kids are like growing up, like the stuff that we see, like they see as well. Like, I don't know how to exactly explain it, but also like you never know what a kid is going through, and like I feel like kids think about things so differently, and like kids are a lot smarter than what we give credit for them, and like kids can really do a lot, you know what I mean? But yeah, so then also this other thing, so that was like last January when that seizure happened. So my last seizure that I had was like called a breakthrough seizure because I had it in like September or August. So I was driving towards Target and stuff, and I rolled down my window because like I'm pretty sure I was trying to spit out the window, which is kind of like embarrassing, whatever. But I just remember I felt like a little weird, and I remember I sent my mom a text letting her know that, and I stopped responding. But I went up, like, you know how like Target and stores have like the mulch and then they have a tree in it, like by parking lots. So like I went on top of the curb and I was like a foot or two away from hitting this tree with my Jeep Wrangler. But I stopped it, and like I threw my hands up in the air like that or something, and there's this dude that was on his lunch break. I think he was a 60-year-old man on his lunch break, and he saw me, and he told my mom and like people, because he waited until the ambulance came. He said he thought like I was just mad because I went up on the curb because I was like this, but then he saw me like slump over to like the other side, passenger side, and he knew or realized I was having a seizure because he had a daughter that actually passed, because I remember like I looked up some stuff and like she passed, but she used to go to the current college that I go to now. And she passed, but she had epilepsy. So he knew like the signs and realized I was having that. And this 60-year-old man jumped up on my car to try to help me like turn my car off and stuff. Like, and that really just means a lot to me. Like I could have like kept going or hit something, and like this man went out of his way to help me. And it really means a lot to me. He left a note. His name is Greg. There was not a number on it, but it had like the paper on it, like had where he worked. So sometime before I go home because I wasn't able to really find like an exact address or anything, but I was able to find something, so I'm gonna go there and see if it's like a store or something, so see if I can like contact someone, because I really still do want to contact him and find him, even though it's been like really long. Like he has nobody has no idea how much that meant to me, because I literally could have died obviously that time too. I could have died when I hit that semi. There's a lot, like, and I remember, so when I hit that semi, my mom was telling me like the EMT, they were like, we have no idea like how you're not injured, how nothing happened, like you could be dead very easily. But I remember my mom was saying she was saying that she thought it was like my grandma or like an angel like looking after me, which like I do agree with that, but also like something that like I remember like reading about was like it might have been also for the injury wise, or like why I wasn't like so hurt, is that when you're having a seizure, when people get in accidents, they usually tense up, but like when you're having a seizure, I'm seizing, but like my body's not going to be as tense as like if I'm crashing, I'm like slamming on a brake and like going like this because I'm like scared, you know what I mean? That's what people like break their neck, break stuff. But I thank God and thank Jesus, thank everyone in the EMT, everyone that helped me that night, and I'm really surprised that I didn't have any injuries from that. But so then coming back to like what happened when I was at this Target in Von Moore and went on the curb. So this was like the most recent one. He jumped on it. This other dude was driving by and he thought I was trying to steal this man's car, because all he saw was this man like jumping on my Jeep with the window down and me in the car, and he was like said something or something, but the old man, Greg, the older, he said something, was like, no, it's a medical emergency, she's having a seizure, can you call 911? So the ambulance came. I don't know if I remember exactly being wheeled in the ambulance or being in the ambulance or not, but I do remember like being into the room or whatever. My friend came off from her shift and came to visit me for a little bit until my mom got there. Very generous of her, and I'm very thankful for her. She's one of my current roommates too. I went to high school with her. I love her to death. But yeah, so that was that. And then so like after that, like after all this, I've always felt like a connection with religion and everything, but I started getting more into like the Bible and reading the Bible, and also just like thinking about God in my everyday life, like making small decisions, small changes and things like that. But I started going to a church that one of my friends in my teaching class would go to, so I went there a few times. But then one of my closer other friends would go to this one that I think it was Christian based, but I still went to it. And then in the summer, I'm probably just gonna try to go to the church that I used to go to with my family, or ask my cousins if they want to go to their church. But like yeah, I honestly still feel like a high connection with God, but like I've had a rough journey, rough past. Like I've had family that have been making wrong decisions, family that's gotten into drugs and alcohol, and I've seen that since like I've been not little, but like 10 to like 13, which is still little. Like I say it's not little, but it honestly is. And like stuff like that impacts people, and it impacts people more than you think. And like tip for me, I feel like what I gain from like stuff is like I tend to have a lot of trust issues, and like issues not connecting with people, but like trusting people, and like attachment. Like I'll get attached to people easily because I don't know exactly why. My immediate family, I love my immediate family. My parents, they've done so much for me, sports wise, physical wise. They've always been there for me. I appreciate them so much. And my siblings, I grew up with them. Like we have so many funny memories. Obviously we fight like siblings do. Like sometimes I would say I want to rip my sister's throat off, but like in reality I would take a bullet for my sister any second, any day. I love her. And sometimes I feel bad because I feel like my sister doesn't know that, because like sometimes people say mean things to the closest people to them. And obviously I've seen that to me. Like I've had people be mean to me, but like something for me is like I always feel really bad when I'm mean towards other people. And I've been like really mean towards like my sister and like family members before, and like that really sticks with me because I feel like even if I'm going through a hard time, I can't let that affect how I treat other people, you know what I mean? And it's something really hard to put up with, or for other people to put up with, but it's something like I've been trying to change over time, and it has ups and downs. And I also like think that like following my religion also really helps, but there's ups and downs with that too. Sometimes you have bad days, sometimes you have good days, but it's always like I feel like it's okay to make mistakes. And like I have really learned to forgive myself and forgive others, I believe, but I've done a lot of like things that I regret in the past, but like nothing like that's super bad. And like I'm really thankful for the life I've been given by my parents and everyone in my family, all my friends. All my friends, you know who you are, everyone that I grew up playing softball with, and all my neighbors, everyone that I went to grade school and high school with, they've always been there for me. Everyone that I'm in contact with, like, I love everyone that's around me. But I just really wanted to share my experience, I guess. And another thing, like, I didn't really like ever think about this, but like there was something, this is more religious, but there's this thing, like I saw this it was on TikTok, and like it was on TikTok, so I don't know, like I did look it up too and all this other stuff, but like it was something about never like breaking a bone or spraining a bone in your body, and like having that be like, it was like a connection with God or like being spiritual. And I was like, I've never sprained or broken like anything in my life, but there's been like times where I've gotten hurt. I've gotten hit in the head with softballs a lot. My ankle was like swollen and like black and blue for like a day or two because I fell backwards off a skateboard last year, downhill. But like I've never like really like gotten hurt, and like I've always been like very like lucky and grateful like in moments where like I could have been seriously injured, or like even near-death experiences, obviously with crashes and stuff. And something I always tell myself about my car accident is like, to me, like it didn't happen obviously, but they did, because I don't remember them from me having a seizure, but I'm like glad I don't remember them, because like to me like that would be such a scary memory to have and keep with me. But yeah, so I've been trying to go to church a lot with my family and friends, and also I go to the gym a lot. This is embarrassing, but I'm gonna flex for you guys. You can't really see it that well at all, but on my TikTok sometimes like I'll try to like upload like what I do like at the gym, and I'll upload like kind of a lot of like different stuff. But like also I'm also very thankful that I have 457 subscribers right now, because what like that just, to me, like it's not like a large number maybe to some people, but to me like I kind of just upload the stuff for fun, and like I've been getting more into like my ASMR and stuff like that. But like I'll upload this stuff, and like I started uploading like a while ago, but like I uploaded ASMR on like an old account like 2 years ago and uploaded stuff. But like this is the most amount of subscribers I've ever had in YouTube, and like the most views I've been getting, especially with my ASMR. And like I really love to help people, especially sleep. I watch ASMR a lot when I go to bed, and I feel like it definitely helps a lot of people. And I don't really know exactly what else to talk about. I would love to post more videos of me talking, because I love talking. But my next video that I do post for talking, I definitely want to make a like notes of like, or like kind of like what I want to follow and like do and edit it more. I'm not editing this video, it's almost 30 minutes long now, but yeah, so that's basically kind of my story with like my epilepsy, somewhat of my family. I didn't really get into that like a lot, but it was like, yeah, so my family, that, everything, and kind of how I've been trying to connect with God. There is like, I used to have this I don't know if I still have it, but this is an app where it was like an online Bible, but you can also ask questions, which like I really like. It kind of reminded me of ChatGPT, but like ChatGPT, I feel like so many people use it. It's not good, but like so many people use it. But like to me, it helped me a lot when I would have like personal questions and like asking that, and it would give me like scriptures that were based on whatever I sent, if that makes sense, and like stuff. And then like if I don't understand a scripture, like I could ask and like have it break down into something I might understand better. And I started reading the Bible a lot and like highlighting it and like making notes, personal notes, things I need to look out for, like what like godly women, what godly people do. I don't have it right now though because I packed it and brought it home in like this huge bin of books that I had, because my school was giving away a bunch of free books, so I grabbed so much kids books because if I'm gonna be a teacher, the more the merrier, especially for books. And I got so many like cool like teaching posters. But tomorrow I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna try to go to the gym early in the morning, and I have a job interview at 9 in the morning. That's for the summer. I do have work tomorrow, but it's not until like 2 p.m. But I want to try to go to the gym, and I might try to go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's. There's these little duck things I want to buy for my grandma because she's been like collecting them because she has a pool now. And there's like these little cute ones that she wanted, and I was like, they're only a few dollars and I want to get them for her, so I sent her pictures of them. And then I do kind of want to go thrifting again, even though I want to try to go to a couple new thrift stores that I saw that are near me, because I've been only going to like Player's Closet and Goodwill, because those are like places that I know. But there's some places that seem cool that I want to check out, and if I can, I'll try to like capture some moments on my phone, or kind of, if I do get stuff, then I'll do a haul.